Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at being teenage mutant ninjas, but mostly we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Benj. So today, we're doing things slightly differently in that our title is Teenage Mutant Ninja blank, and then we fill in the blank with whatever we want. But we're not allowed to just do Teenage Mutant Ninjas. That's boring.
We can't do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because that's already taken.
Exactly. I mean, you could, I guess, do Teenage Mutant Ninja Humans if you wanted, but you have to use the word humans. You can't just, end it with ninjas.
Exactly. This is in honor of the fact that in the last few months alone, there have been 2 Ninja Turtle video games released.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're Ninja Turtle fans like we are, then that's a pretty big deal because Ninja Turtle games, they've always been around, since the days of arcade games.
Yeah, there's even been, new arcade games.
Yeah.
You go to, Peter Piper Pizza or somewhere else. They've... It's not like they've ever really stopped making them.
It's true. But in just the past few months, they released a brand new Ninja Turtles game, which was fantastic. And then just this past week, they released all of, I think it's the 12 or 13 Ninja Turtles games that have ever, come out, at least in the same style, all in one game. And it's quite exciting, if you care about that sort of thing.
Which, who wouldn't care about that sort of thing?
See, the thing is, even if you're not a big, Ninja Turtles fan, you've never seen the shows or the movies or anything like that, the games themselves are just considered great. That style of arcade game.
The beat 'em up style.
Yeah.
Where you go to the right and fight enemies. They're some of the most fun versions of those games.
Yeah. I don't think they were the first by any means, but they were the first, I feel really popular ones in arcades and stuff. And that's why even to this day, they just keep making them. There's 13, 14, this new one makes the 14th, I think. And then there have been other spin-offs of that. We used to play them on the original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
They had one that was more like a 3D style, but still pretty great. I shudder to think that is what I think it is. Is it a Teenage Mutant Ninja Carrot?
That's what this is. I'm thinking...
It looks pretty sinister.
Well, I mean, ninjas do.
It's true. It's funny because we grew up with the original Ninja Turtle cartoons, the ones from the 80s that I'm pretty sure went into the 90s. But then early 2000s they rebooted Ninja Turtles as a cartoon. Do you remember those? They were grittier, darker Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
In the original one from the 80s, Raphael, the one with the red mask, he was sarcastic. That was his big thing. And they're oh, he's rude and sarcastic. But in the everything else, he's just kind of dark and brooding. He's the Batman of the Ninja Turtles.
Right.
For some reason his life that's been identical to his 3 brothers, he I don't know, he has problems with it.
Yeah.
Somehow them all being raised in the exact same sewer by her rat, all learning the same martial arts. Yeah. They all develop drastically different personalities.
Obviously siblings aren't the same.
No, but
it's weird. Have you ever met a family where it's every one of the siblings are opposites of each other?
No. You have the super goofy one right next to the one. And there's a difference between having siblings that went out and made different friends and were around different people. These guys all stayed in the same sewer, just the 4 of them and their master Splinter, the rat. They never met anybody else. They never they had no way of developing different personalities somehow.
Right.
And yet, you know what I think it is though? They were all given different weapons.
Yep.
Very, very important.
Drastically changed everything about their whole life.
It must make a huge difference when you give your teenagers different ninja weapons.
Ninja weapons. Yep. And I mean, obviously, Splinter treated them kind of differently because it's he trained Leonardo to be the leader
Yeah, I mean, he just treated him like the oldest sibling. I feel like.
Yeah, even though they're all
the same age. Like, you would think one of them's like the, like the baby of the family, and middle child is like Raphael, like forgotten by everybody.
Yeah.
Donatello is another one who's like
he's another middle child.
Middle child who had to go off and like be super techie just to be
noticed.
But and then Michelangelo is clearly like the baby.
Yeah.
But
they're get away with anything.
Yeah, but they're all exactly the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And had the exact same life experience. So.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here,
I'm actually getting what you're doing. I think it's fantastic, but you should explain. See if I'm right.
Basically, I'm picking vegetables. And, I mean, obviously, fruits and vegetables. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja vegetables, though. Technically, any plant matter you eat is a vegetable, and then under that is the classification of fruit.
This is one of those very complicated things that, for some reason, Benj and I have talked about a lot in life, where, like, the reason that vegetables and fruits are different has a lot to do with, like, how the government chose to tax them.
Mm-hmm. More about taxing
than like
actual things. Yeah,
like botanists classify them very differently than like the government, mm-hmm. and therefore the grocery store.
Right.
Like tomatoes are just 100% a fruit,
mm-hmm.
but because they're not sweet, they're taxed like a vegetable.
Well, it's not even that they're not sweet, because they're relatively sweet. It's that they are used in salads, and like the way that they're used is like, they're
it's like
used like a vegetable.
I'm just curious, did you give the grape guy eyes and then realize that you can't give him eyes?
I gave him pupils.
Are those two grapes in the middle just pupils now?
No, they're just eyes.
Oh.
And he's wearing a mask. His mask is bigger because he has bigger eyes.
Sure.
Yeah, I put pupils in the eyes, like in two of the grapes, if they were eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I noticed that those weren't, like, you couldn't really see them.
This so much more for some reason.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it this way too, where the triangle-shaped one has triangle eyes and the circular one has circle eyes?
Yeah.
All right.
That's how it is.
So these colors...
I was deciding color-wise, because obviously these are purple grapes.
And yeah, because they match Donatello's mask color.
But see, blue's where it gets hard, because there's not really a fruit or vegetable that's actually blue. Like, there's blueberries, but those are clearly purple. In fact, they're more purple than most grapes.
Yeah, but they're also, like, more blue than any other food.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to make him a blueberry. But I mostly was saying that so that when I just draw a circle, you guys know it's a blueberry.
Yeah, it's very clear. Give it one of those blueberry hats that they have.
What's a blueberry hat?
It's like the top of the blueberry where it was picked. It looks unique.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like a tomato, but
it's not.
It's not leaves like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he has a mask. He has tiny little eyes.
This is pretty great, honestly. I don't know why this hasn't been like parodied before. It probably has.
Yeah. You would think like VeggieTales would have done it.
They probably.
They did. They did like Lord of the Rings, and
it's true. Why haven't they done ninja vegetables?
Yeah. or the Muppets. Didn't they do something? Or not Muppet, but like Sesame Street.
I'm sure that they've done quite a few things over the years. Oh wow, this guy's legs are taking a wide stance. I guess they all kind of are, but different. It's a very dull sword. It's not very pointy at the tip.
It's
practice.
It's as pointy as he needs it to be.
I mean, if you're fighting other fruit, you really don't need. Are they fighting other fruit?
Yeah, I mean, these are like what, toothpicks?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay, and then see, here's the other problem. What's the classic red?
I mean, you've got cherries and strawberries.
Tomatoes that look the exact same.
Dude, cherries or strawberries?
Yeah, I could do cherries, but then it's like, do 2 cherries, like the classic double cherry. There's somehow 2 of them.
Yeah, there's never just one. There's never one cherry in any drawing. It's just they come in pairs.
Yeah, I kind of would like to do a vegetable. Just to have a second not fruit.
Yeah, but you already drew the red vegetable.
What you mean, the orange vegetable?
I mean, you already drew a tomato, but called it a blueberry.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, and there's not really a red vegetable.
There's red peppers, but they come in all colors. There's
and rhubarb.
There's red potatoes, but how do you draw that and make it clear that it's a red potato?
So we're drawing cherries. 2 cherries. They are one person.
Yeah.
Connected. Or I need to make that a little bit longer because they need to be bent the same way for some reason.
What is it with the who decided that was the normal thing?
Draw them.
Does he have one eye on each?
Yeah.
And a mask that goes over each one? Gosh, this guy's the best. If these things rose up out of the sewer, this is what the GMO people are protesting against.
Yeah. If you
keep modifying them, they're going to rise up against us. They're going to crawl out of the sewers and fight. Oh gosh, this legs.
They kind of look like Pokeballs.
They do.
And he actually, these are hands.
That's real unfortunate. Connected hands? No, come on. You need to give him arms coming out of this. He can still fight with the stem.
Yeah, and then he's got.
It'd be like a
the size.
He just pinch people, choke hold him with his 2 stems. Wow, this is a great team.
Raphael was given the worst weapons.
Because he can only defend with them,
and
they're way worse than.
Literally gardening tools.
I don't know. Michelangelo has nunchucks.
Yeah, nunchucks are pretty bad, especially 2 of them. Why would you?
That limits you quite a bit.
Yeah. It's one of the few weapons worse than just picking up a stick.
I would say that Donatello would be the best, I guess. Except the Ninja Turtles somehow always end up fighting robots. And I mean, I know why they fight robots, because it has to be a kid's show and a kid's video game.
Right.
And you can't have them just slicing real ninjas in half.
Mm-hmm.
But a stick would be good if you were fighting people. But if you're fighting robots, you want something that's gonna damage the metal.
Right. Which means that basically Leonardo was the only one given real weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, honestly, Donatello is still probably the weapon I would choose.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, his stick seems to hold that fine. And you could just, use a metal stick.
That's true.
Nothing.
You could probably
you could
bash some metal robots with it. Yeah. This is a pretty fearsome team, though.
Yep, this is it.
Who's the you don't have to draw him, but who's the master of the Teenage Mutant Ninja vegetables?
Who's the
it can't be another vegetable. It can't be another vegetable.
Oh yeah, you're right, because he's a different thing. But
so if turtles pair with a rat, what pairs with vegetables?
I think he's probably here. I'll draw him here.
It could be another plant. It just can't be a vegetable.
No, I'll draw him here. But his back is facing them, and you won't smell of him. But
I like how every one of yours comes with a preemptive warning about what it's supposed to look like.
He is.
That looks like a trash can. Oh.
No, he's a drumstick. like a chicken drumstick.
Chicken drumstick.
See, I don't know how long this word's going to be. Another preempt.
You can just
how long.
You can just abbreviate it. Just do TMNV.
Okay.
People will know.
Teenage.
If you mess this up, vegetables.
Vegetable. Yeah,
that's so much better than spelling it all out. It even looks kind of good with the M, the N, and the V.
Mm-hmm. It works.
This is when we were thinking about this before drawing today. this is better than anything I could have thought of, because it makes sense how the colors match of the vegetables and fruits match the mask colors of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I almost messed up right away by giving the carrot not the nunchucks.
Yeah.
Right, like I almost gave him swords or something, and I was like, wait a second, he's orange. I should give him the nunchucks.
Man.
And then that kind of put me in a corner, and I had to think of a purple and blue thing, but it definitely worked out.
I'm just saying, if they came out with a video game that was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Vegetables, and these were the characters, I would totally play it.
Yeah.
And if this was a show, especially if I was a kid, and I mean, that doesn't really change my show preferences now, but I would totally watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Vegetables.
And it teaches you.
Master Drumstick.
Yeah.
Who do these people fight? Who's their... Because the Ninja Turtles always fight Shredder.
I mean, obviously there's like the clear health lesson here, so they're fighting like desserts.
Oh. I was thinking they could just fight like a cheese shredder. Like it's still Shredder. Like,
well, I mean, he might be.
Yeah.
But like all the mutants that he like creates...
they're all like...
Because they're all like other animals.
So are they like fruit desserts, like strawberry shortcake, and you're like, oh my gosh, what have they done to that healthy vegetable? They've mutated it into something sugary and bad for you. Yeah, like...
Yeah, but like all the like robot like foot soldiers, they could be whatever, like kitchen utensils or something.
Oh, this show's shaping up to be wonderful.
Like spoons and forks and...
Yeah, no, it'd be so good. This is like a better idea than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, there's not much you can do with turtles.
No.
They just did different animals. They'd have like a mutant fly and a mutant warthog and a mutant rhino, and now you can do all the like...
Yeah, I mean, there's so many foods.
It's such a good idea.
And you could do so many like stereotypes. Italian foods have Italian accents and stuff.
Wow. I think it's brilliant. I would watch it.
Yep.
I don't know if I can come up with something better, but I think it's my turn to give it a try.
Let's see what you come up with.
All right. I'm going to try something oddly ambitious.
Okay.
I'm going to draw... Well, you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see what I'm drawing. But, okay. I wanted to stick with the original acronym, TMNT, because it just rolls off the tongue.
Right.
So I'm going to draw something that starts with T.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Teddy Bears?
I did consider that.
Or tarantulas?
No, it already looks bad. See, the thing with drawing fruit like you did is like, fruit is supposed to look imperfect.
Yep. It's the easiest thing to draw. Because you don't have to make a perfect circle, because no fruit is a perfect circle.
It'd be weird if fruit was like perfect, wouldn't it?
It'd
be like unnatural.
Every like 100% of all fruit that grows is like a perfect circle or square, or, triangle.
Yeah, it'd be really freaky.
I see you went with toy train.
I'm going with... Oh, we could do TMNTT. TMNTT. I mean, any train I draw is not going to look like a real train, so we might as well. But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Trains would be beloved.
I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, that's
probably still making things.
That's basically my my thought process here. All right, so how do trains?
I watched a YouTube video on like the lore of the Thomas Tank Engine, like because there's like a movie that came out fairly recently where like somebody turned into a train by going through this dimension, like into the Thomas. So it was like
that's horrifying.
Talking about like the implications that
like what turning into trains would be.
Yeah, and like. Does that mean all the trains were like once people?
Oh, that's super dark.
And then you start thinking about like what happens to these trains in the shows and stuff.
I don't want to watch this video, Ben. It seems creepy. Really creepy.
Yeah, and
it's almost as creepy as like how do you get a train to draw or hold a ninja weapon?
Any way you do that, I think will be creepy.
Just have to have a big arm coming out the back.
Out the back. like a Trogdor arm.
Basically.
Oh, he's got seemingly more muscles than...
That kind of just looks like smoke coming out the back, and then you're like, nope, it's an arm.
Well, that smoke's not coming out of the smokestack.
It's an arm.
Oh, man.
Which Ninja Turtle is this, do you think? This looks like a Donatello.
Does it?
It does now.
Oh, man.
These things, do they have masks on?
Where would their eyes be? Like,
It would be like right here.
Like where Thomas's eyes would be. The arm is like so far away.
You can't see the other eye.
But I guess, I mean, that even makes sense because it's like, you don't need, like, he's just going to ram things most of the time. The arm, he's that in the back for back protection.
I have no idea how this thing fights. I am just the humble artist.
What the real question, I think, is what does it fight?
It fights like other equipment, like it fights like construction equipment.
Oh, okay, so not like, I mean, because once you enter the realm of trains being
Alive.
things, like that, I mean, buildings could be alive. Landmarks.
We're getting into like the cars world.
Yeah, like anything, and like in cars, like buildings alive, I guess. But it's like, but why not? You know what I mean?
I know, right?
Like at this point, a river could be, you know,
It's only a matter of time until, like they will start doing, like, in the world of cars. Suddenly, all the buildings are alive, and it's like, oh, the whole time?
Yeah, have they always been alive?
I do not know how train wheels work.
This looks like a boot.
I mean, they have to see. That's the difference between like the regular Ninja Turtles. Oh gosh, it does totally just look like a boot with wheels.
Like skates.
I have to give it like a.
See, like,
there's like a door.
if we didn't already acknowledge that these are trains, I would think, oh, it's just toys. You know, there's a toy train. There's the skate.
They all have to have like some kind of a chimney thing.
Yep. Are they all steam?
Yeah, that makes sense, right? So they can have like weaknesses.
Yep.
You know.
So, but they fight like construction equipment. You said like, so like crane would be a like
Crane? Like in the Ninja Turtles show.
Yeah, crane would be a crane.
That makes sense, right?
Or would he still be? Would he be? Because you know he's like a little brain in like a giant robot thing. Would it be like a crane, like a construction crane inside, like some bigger thing that he controls, or would it still be like a brain in a crane though?
It's best to not think about this too much right now, but I think it's like a brain inside something.
Okay.
There, that's Raphael.
The other thing to consider is like
Raphael have like a scar. Because he looks way too not tough.
Yeah. The other thing to consider is like, so in, you know, in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world, there is the accident that gave Daredevil his powers.
Oh yeah.
And then that like radioactive material leaked into the sewer, and that created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, like the fruits and vegetables, you can just be like, oh, they were like garbage, you know, discarded.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the origin story here with the trains?
So
like all 4 trains.
Okay, so everybody knows that the Ninja Turtles were created by what Ninja Turtle world would call mutagen, which is just like some chemical stuff.
Right.
Mysterious chemical that can give you superpowers. Most people don't know that, yeah, like you said, Ninja Turtles are just like in the same world as Daredevil.
Yep.
Because the mysterious liquid that splashes in his eyes and gives them superpowers. gave the Ninja Turtles their power. What people don't know though is before it was transported to New York City, it was like on a train.
Oh yes,
It was like in the train yard. There was like a horrible spill on 4 trains, and it created the Teenage Mutant Ninja trains.
Makes sense. And then once like Shredder or whoever finds out about these trains,
yeah, it's like
he's like, oh, I gotta mutate some construction equipment.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's very, very complicated. But
I mean, because that's what he does with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is he's like, oh, there's a bunch of teenage turtles coming after me. I guess the only way I could possibly fight them is by mutating other animals.
Yeah, it is exactly what he does, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I'll admit, but it's pretty effective.
Yep. I mean, but it's not because the turtles always win.
Yeah, but like it's better than you'd think. like take a rhinoceros out of the zoo, and it's actually not that bad. You know.
Yep.
You know what is bad? This train. Like trying to get artsy.
Dude, these trains have to like stay on a track.
You know, that's the complicated thing. I think they do.
That's unfortunate.
In some unfortunate way, they have to like. Oh, this was his mask.
It's like, how do they even train?
That's a good joke.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of it as a pun.
I know, that's why. But I don't know how they train.
They're gonna just ram each other on the tracks.
Like how the Ninja Turtles have like a secret like lair in the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a secret abandoned train yard that nobody can find.
Right.
You know?
And
so I don't
ride around the tracks.
I don't exactly know how it works. But yeah, they get around somehow.
And also they have like secret tracks that like go to all of wherever they're needed whenever Shredder or whatever their enemy is attacks.
That arm's so much worse than the other ones.
It's okay then. The hand wangler got that one.
My signature style.
Oh, is this Leonardo?
This is the Leonardo train. I used to have a short sword though, so that I can fit in Michelangelo somewhere.
Do they have the same names? Your train?
Yeah, they're named after famous like engineers.
But they just happen to have the exact same name as the famous painters.
Yeah, exactly. Leonardo, the inventor of the first steam engine in Europe in 17 or 18 something.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be hilarious, actually, if they like found that it lines up unnaturally well.
I think trains were invented in the 1870s.
You should look that up to be sure.
I will.
I'm quite curious now, and I'm sure the people at home are just dying to know.
I'm sure they are.
Dang, this one's so close to Leonardo. How do I?
No, the first train actually was on 1804.
1804, that's really early.
Yeah. That is way earlier than I...
Gosh, this train. Super weird looking.
I'm going to look up the timeline of the railroad history.
Oh, wonderful.
16th to 18th century. Mid 16th century, 1550.
This is turning into a boring history lesson.
Hand-propelled mining tubs.
And that's not a train.
Yeah, but they used like tracks, so it matters. And in 1594, they had horse-drawn trains.
Horse-drawn trains?
Yeah.
That can't be a thing. I should have made one of the turtles that. People be like, what are these? Oh, they're horse-drawn trains, of course. Haven't you read the history books?
Yeah. And they were used like in the 1600s, and ironically, they were used to carry coal.
Wow. Is that like why trains exist? Needing to move coal around?
Probably.
I
know they eventually like were used also to like transport meat and stuff.
It's hard to explain why this train is like 2 levels. All the wheels are at different heights.
It's like completely useless. Like if that wheel is enough.
This is Michelangelo's, so it's like
his back wheel never even touches the tracks.
It's like you have to have like the Ninja Turtles are on like skateboards and stuff, right? So you have to explain like how can a train skate? And they're like, oh well, he's got, you know.
Yeah, most of the first trains were used to transport coal, and they were like a couple miles, just like 2 miles, like from the mine to the to where they were needed.
Wow.
Look up when the first like what we call a train was invented.
All right, now who is the master of the Teenage Mutant Ninja trains? You might be asking.
I do wonder that.
Well, he's the conductor, of course. Oh gosh, that doesn't look great. I don't understand what this conductor looks like. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, in 1800, the year, the steam engine patent expired. So it seems like I mean, I might be reading this wrong, but it seems like somebody patented steam engines, but then never like actually used them. They just used horse-drawn, and then once that expired, then people are like, "Oh, we can actually invent this now."
This is super complicated and super boring at the same time.
Nothing about trains is ever boring. Although I'm sure like an actual train person is like, "Ben, you idiot! Everybody knows that actually something else happened." But I don't even know enough to like correct myself. But in 1804, the first steam locomotive railway was invented, was made.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh gosh, what is this guy gonna look like?
Yeah, that's definitely earlier than I thought. That's for sure. There's so much train history.
Of course there is. Trains were important for a long time.
Yep, but not anymore. Until your new movie.
Yeah, this is gonna like bring back the train revolution. You know what it's not gonna do? It's not gonna make people want to be a conductor because they look unnatural.
In 1877, though, vacuum brakes were invented.
Of course they were.
By America, of course.
America.
Which is the only reason I noticed it. Because I think it was the first time I noticed the word America being used in the history.
Please forgive this conductor.
Now that I look up away from my history,
yes, it's best to just keep.
I'm just gonna go back to looking at my phone.
I was so into the train drawing. But everybody knows the only important thing about a conductor is that they have a striped hat.
Yes, of course.
And striped jackets.
Yes. Otherwise, one of his arms is so much shorter.
He's just working out that arm or something. I don't know.
That makes it longer.
I have no idea. But these are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Trains, guys. You can tell Michelangelo because he's like always doing like a weird wheelie type thing on the track.
Reverse wheelie.
Yeah. He's so cool. He's going to be the kid's favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Train.
And your conductor, like, is he actually bigger than them? Or is this just
it's just like it's like a perspective thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Just wondering if this was like some giant.
No, he's just like a normal conductor, but he like
he got the mutagen too, and he grew.
he was just like an ordinary like. He wasn't a conductor. It made him a conductor.
Like he was.
It made him capable of
he was like a trained master in ninjutsu.
Exactly. He was like, but it made him able to train trains.
Yeah, like the clothes, like the conductor hat, like that's part of him now.
He can't take it off. He can't take it off.
And the mustache.
And he has like a like a fancy man cane.
Mm-hmm.
Like a gentleman's cane.
Yes.
And he uses it to beat up the turtles. I don't know, like train them. Gave them all weapons. Big beefy arm. They have to have something.
Just like you got this beefy arm. You got to hold it in. Otherwise, it's just weird.
Exactly.
Even he can't think of a way for them to use it.
Yeah, like you're right. Like because they just like fend off stuff that's behind them on the track with that while they're like ramming the ones in front. I don't know. I gave Donatello like nothing in front to ram stuff. This is like his face.
He's the nerd of the group.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a long stick. Maybe he could reach around the front and push stuff away.
He hits things in the front.
But yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Trains are. Yeah. This is. I mean, kids love trains.
Mm-hmm.
They love ninjas.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Tom. Like I said at the beginning, Thomas has been wildly successful.
Yeah. This is just combining like two beloved children's shows. Mm-hmm. Teenage Ninja Turtles and Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yes.
Into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like there could be so many spin-offs of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like
I mean, well, when they already were just like, what's the most ridiculous combination of words that we can put together?
Exactly. These were like second.
Yeah, these were like on the list.
On the list. Yeah. But no, turtles are slow and weak and yeah, no, trains are too cool. Yeah. Too cool. Kids would. Yeah, that would make sense.
Kids already like trains.
Yeah. Gotta make them like turtles for some reason. Yeah. No, this would be great. Teenage Mutant Ninja Trains. They fight construction equipment. Mm-hmm. They fight it's like mutant construction equipment. It's like construction equipment, but it's like been pieced together. Like like every construction equipment thing has like that big like wrecking ball. Mm-hmm. That's like on something it shouldn't be with.
Right.
And then somehow they're like on the tracks fighting the turtles. They go back to their hidden lair and this conductor man gets them there.
I feel like if you're a villain and these are the heroes against you, you just like remove the tracks that gets to you, and then that's it. That's all. For some reason that just doesn't happen. Yeah, they can like real quickly build a new track.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's a world where the track is permanent.
Yeah,
can't take it up. Well, I'd watch either of these shows, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Vegetables, coming to a screen near you.
Yep, watch out for it. And, if you work in Hollywood, just give us a call.
I mean, it's people like us that come up with the ideas no one else is brave enough to come up with. Just go back and watch our videos. There's so many ideas that are like, nobody's ever thought about doing that before.
Yep.
The $1 million idea sitting in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Just call us up.
Yep.
We'll draw some storyboards for you.
Or, alternatively, if you own a hotel,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we're still looking for that hotel owner that's
pitching this.
The Two Poor Artists Hotel would be wonderful.
Yep.
Next time you're in a hotel and you just see the boring art and you're a hotel builder, think of us.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.